and welcome to the Global Online chapter of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. All of our members in all of our chapters get to participate in what we're doing in our Global Online chapter. So whether you're a member of one of our community-based chapters or a member of our Global Online chapter, everybody gets to participate here. Our special guest today is Linda McBee of Happy DNA Candy, and our topic is the psychology of marketing. As you can probably imagine, I have a few opinions on psychology and marketing, especially in our holistic niche. But first, let me tell you a little bit about Linda and why we thought this topic was going to be so perfect for her. So Linda really has impressed me with how she is growing her network, her business, and everything she's doing. So when I asked her, how is she growing things, she started talking about psychology. She started talking about some of her education, and I just went, okay, you've got an AA in this, you've got a BA in this, you've got experience building an insurance business. You're now working with, I'll show you the DNA candy later. I have some samples right here. So it just made sense because on some level, right, people are choosing to buy or not buy, to sign up for your list or not sign up for your list based on, yes, their conscious, right? Their conscious evaluation of who you are as a professional and what you're doing, but also on those subconscious factors, right? The truth of the matter is you've got your degree in human behavior, you've got your extended studies following up in human behavior, and you've got your experience not just in insurance, right, and in that huge industry, but also in the, right, building a business, a health-related business, by the way. So how do you define psychology?
Well, I actually pulled up from the dictionary and I thought it was so clever. I did send you that. So if you, did you print that off?
Oh, you want me to read the definition of psychology?
That's why I called you. Well, that's what I was asking you yesterday. I'm so sorry.
Sorry about that. I did not print it off, but I can define it because psychology was part of my studies in international relations, believe it or not. So psychology is really about how we make decisions. That's the very short form of what is psychology. It's how we make decisions, the factors that impact our decision making. Some of those factors include, it's very appropriate, Emily, by the way, to have you on this call, because some of those factors include, what do people see when they look at you? Do they see a professional? Or do they see somebody that might be a good friend, a buddy, but not necessarily somebody that they would make a purchase from? They include things like, what do they think when they see your packaging, right? If you're selling jewelry, do they see the color of a Tiffany box and think, ooh, I want some of that? If you are selling, and in the case of Happy DNA Candy, right, this is a health item. This is a wellness item, right? It is very similar to, I think, by the way, just what I thought when I saw it is, it's like a cough drop, right? And I'll tell you, it's tasty like a cough drop. So in the world of psychology, right, I remember the old days when if it tasted good, it couldn't be good for you, right? Anything that was good for you didn't taste good at all. And now.
And it didn't smell good either.
No, they didn't smell, it was dreadful. And now, of course, we can get gummies for vitamin pills. And we can take candy for wellness and healthcare. And we know that it really is good for us. And that's actually a little bit of, again, the psychology of marketing is when people learn about you and your product and your service, do they take it seriously? Or is there you'll love this term, is there a story from their past that is impacting the way they listen to you, the way they look at you, the filters that they're reading through, right? It also includes, so I got some of the marketing materials from Happy DNA Candy, right? It's what's the quality of paper that your marketing materials are printed on. Some people like greens, other people are going to respond better to purples. Anybody, of course, who's paying attention to the HCC, you better like green and white, because pretty much everything we do, it comes in that color scheme. And marketing is about helping people become aware and educated about your product or your service in a way that encourages them to either say yes to you, yes, I want that, yes, I'll buy that, or gets them to think, oh, I don't need that right now, but my buddy Jack Smack, I'm going to tell him. My friend Jane Schmain, I'm going to tell her, right? So the psychology of marketing is, how do I open more doors to more people in a way that gets them to say yes, whatever your product or service is? Is that, Linda, you agree? Did I?
Absolutely. And the first thing that I highlighted with psychology is the study of mind and behavior. And that really encompasses everything that you mentioned, because it's the visual, it's the behavior, it's the process, it's the whole thing in a nutshell, in a package.
Yeah.
But it's not just that, it's also us. It's how we show up. It's where we show up, when we show up. I ran an advertising agency for 10 years. So that was very valuable in the process of then shifting from having a brick and mortar, so to speak, business to an online presentation.
Right, that's right. And, you know, people have all kinds of filters, many of which are developed when we are young, before we are even thinking about it, right? Those emotional seeds that were planted by our parents or by our teachers, and we grow up and we respond to certain things based on all those old stories and all those old filters, some of which we're not even aware of. You know, what I wear if I am in front of a corporate audience is different than what I wear if I'm going to my Friday night holistic potluck. Pretty much. Mostly because of what I do, I'm always looking for things to wear that speak to both the mainstream audience and the holistic tribe, right? Because as a holistic chamber of commerce, I've got both audiences. So something inside of the psychology of marketing for everybody who's here today and everybody who is watching the recording, like, who is your primary audience? Who are you mostly talking to? And, you know, if you go to, can't believe I'm going to say this, if you're going to a conventional chamber of commerce meeting, that's going to be one audience. If you're going to a holistic chamber of commerce meeting, we're a little bit more business casual than business, right? So there's just something to pay attention to in terms of the visual I really think that even though there are all those subconscious factors, the visual is the first thing that gets our attention, right? And same with advertising. So you mentioned the consistency, Linda, of running an ad for, you said 10 years?
So I ran an advertising agency. So I went out and met with businesses and they bought advertising. So I sold anything from a quarter page to a double truck, which is a centerfold, and talked with them about the psychology of their business and how did they want to present themselves to the people that were seeing this publication. And if they were a big roofing company and they wanted to come in and offer a $10,000, $20,000 job, quarter page ad might not cut it. They might not get the jobs that they wanted. But if they went bigger so that the people who were seeing it, the people who were visualizing and seeing the ads would realize, oh, they're a bigger business. They're a business I want to do business with because they're able to do the job. They're able to get the job done and do a really good job. And it's all psychology of the visual and the image and the presentation that we're presenting and bringing to everything, whether it's here, whether it's to the grocery store. It's how we present ourselves at the core, and then from there presenting about our business and who we're attracting.
So now taking that advertising experience and applying it to what you're doing in the health world with Happy DNA Candy, do you have some places that you regularly run ads? And yes, so you're a member of the HCC, right? And you've taken that added step of becoming a sponsor of the HCC. So that would certainly be part of that marketing, the psychology of marketing that you've stepped into, higher level marketing. Are there other places that you're running ads or kind of up-leveling your presence?
I am. So I've actually been a member of HCC for 3 years. I think it's been 3 years now. And this past year became a sponsor, an annual sponsor. I'm also a sponsor of an online publication for seniors called Hip Seniors, and it's all online. It goes all over the world, as well as some other random things. Some of them are kind of a goodwill. I get a lot of reciprocation, and they're not really in the a regular chamber, but it is a networking event that I've gotten a lot of customers from. So I want other people who see me to realize I'm giving back to that organization. Is that where, and it's crazy because I say this all the time when I had my publication. Marketing, it's not one thing, it's everything. And I actually have a friend who kind of sloganed that. And you don't always get back in marketing where you give. But the whole point is giving, because gratitude is crazy, the law of attraction. When you give, you receive. But it's never back where you think it's going to be. You just plant the seeds. And
thanks, honey.
I think that that brings up two really good points. One is, in the bigger business world, there is actually something called goodwill marketing. It's the causes that companies support that support their image in the bigger world. Target, for example, gives a lot of donations through their Target Foundation. That's goodwill marketing. Amazon has the Amazon Smile program. That's, their form of goodwill marketing. So that's something for people to consider. If you're a conventional doctor, you might join the AMA. If you're a holistic health professional, in all of the different ways that we define health, right? Mind, body, spirit, business, budget, planet. You're not going to join the AMA. You're going to join the Holistic Chamber of Commerce because you want that professional positioning as well. And in the world of branding, I would love it if I could always say, oh, that lead came from there, and that lead came from there, and that new member came from there. But the reality is, some people are going to find me on LinkedIn and they're going to go, oh yeah, I found you through the internet. And some people are going to find me on Google, but it's because of the LinkedIn profile that I have that I showed up on Google where I did, right? So in that bigger world of the psychology of marketing and branding, you can't always tell whether your $200 here or your $20 there actually became your next customer or client or member or patient. But when you're in it for the long game, you know that all of those layers, all of those little pieces, they just all add up to a big, beautiful success story. So, Linda,
what's even crazier sometimes is when you have someone say where it came from, and it might have been 3 or 4 things, but the one thing that they said had nothing to do with the others, but everything to do with the others. So, and you just kind of go, okay.
It's like you see an ad in a magazine and you hear an ad on a radio channel, and then you see an ad, well, no longer on a TV show, but you see an ad, right? Whether it's on a YouTube video you're watching or some other video you're watching, and all those little, they're touches, they're reminders. I mean, isn't that what marketing is really? It's just that ongoing drip, drip, drip. I'm here, I have something for you, I'm still here, I'm still available for you. And by the way, when people are looking for health and wellness products and services, they're not looking for fly by night. If I find the professional, the product, the service that I want, right? Happy DNA Candy, I want to know that it's still going to be available for me next month. And if something happens and I need a rush order or something, I have somebody that I can depend on. Linda, hint, hint, right? That I can reach out to, and she's going to be available. She's not here today and gone tomorrow, which is relevant for all of us in this industry, right? We're trying to find clients who we can depend on, and they're looking for professionals and business owners that they can depend on, right? That goes both ways. And that's really a lot of psychology, again, that visual. When they see you, do they see somebody that they think dependable, trustworthy, likable? So
I heard something really valuable the other day. It's timing. And as a business owner, and as everyone here is a business owner, if you reach out to somebody, they might not be interested today because they don't have that need today. But it's all about that timing, that you're there when their need, that they need you. And I went, wow, and that's not always what we want as a business owner. We're like, but we want you to need it today.
Buy today, sign up today. But they might need you next week or next month. which is what email marketing and social media, I think, is really about, is that they can find you when they do need you, when they're ready to sign up. So on that note, Linda, what are some of your marketing places to be? Like, are you in love with email marketing? Do you have some favorite social media channels?
I use a little bit of everything. I use social media, Facebook, email, texting. It depends what it is and the message that am I trying to communicate something to people who have already seen and learned about our product. I use an app that educates people about the services and the things that we do. So for new people, that's really simple. It's either a text or email. So I can't say that I have one favorite. The only one that I haven't really wrapped my head around a whole lot is Instagram. So
Well, I'll just say, so my personal suggestion, to, especially to people who are just starting out or who are really still solopreneurs, is I think you should find your one or two favorite social medias and not try to be every single place, because then you're really spreading yourself too thin. And I'll just say, so as a holistic chamber of commerce, we now have a team of people who help with social media. You want me? You're going to find me on Facebook or LinkedIn. But somebody else, thank you very much, Charn Pennyworth, handles our Instagram channel. Donna handles our Pinterest channel. Leslie helps with Twitter and wherever else we are. And by the way, while I know some people are in love with TikTok, I'm barely there, right? So, you know, you can't be everywhere all the time. Find your favorites, stick with them, build your network there. All right, so Linda, what are your very top tips in the world of psychology and marketing?
Take your head out of it. Create a list of activities that you can control to move your business forward. Because once you take the emotion out of it and you're not tied to, oh, they want to sign up to be my client. Oh, they changed their mind at the last minute. That roller coaster of emotions can really create havoc, not just in our psyche, but in our soul. And then can really kind of take us off course of the actions. So I actually have an activity sheet of actions and things that I do to move my business forward every day. And that has been my lifesaver. And I can control what those things are and immediately find, where am I missing? What am I lacking? What do I need to improve on? And go from there. Because if you get your head too much in it, then that can really trip people up.
Yeah, well, and there will be trolls, right? Anybody who's got a big following or a lot of connections, there are trolls, and it's really not personal, and it doesn't necessarily support you to get tied up in some of those, you know, messy conversations. Ignore some of them and they'll just go away. So I think your idea of a checklist, by the way, like that's brilliant, and we can control it, right?
It sits right in on my desk.
You might have to share a copy with us all later. By the way, that reminds me. So another tip for anybody who's really cautious around the world of social media. If you find the time suck to be a time suck for you, set your timer on your phone for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 30 minutes. And when your timer goes off, turn it off for the day, right? Or turn it off for the afternoon. Like, there are ways to manage our time, control our time in a way that still serves us, right? In terms of increasing our reach, but also serves us in terms of there's a lot on the checklist of things I want to get done today. So some of that time suck doesn't serve me. All right, you really haven't told us anything about the candy. So before we jump into the breakouts, by the way, just so you know, I know that there are actually better names for these, so I apologize in the world of psychology, but in the world of marketing, and in the world of Alice in Wonderland, I have the purple pills and the orange pills and the yellow pills.
And the purple one tastes like grape. It's for immunity. And the orange one, that's for the gut. That one literally tastes like oranges. And what was the other one you pulled out?
The yellow one.
Oh, the yellow one, that's for the joints, and that tastes like pear.
So, you know, I think that's great that there are 12, I think I saw 12 or 15 different products, right? All with a different focus, and wonderful. What else do we need to know?
It's a nutraceutical line. It's FDA registered. It's halal certified. So we're a 9-year-old company in 30 countries all over the world, shipped to 50 countries, and just came to the United States a year ago. I had a lot of health issues and capsules and tablets that had to go through the stomach. My body rejected. I'm allergic to a lot of stuff. And so was actually had Lyme disease and had to shut my business down, my advertising business. And Camille probably saw me in the middle of my Lyme and brain fog, not putting sentences together, a hot mess, a couple years ago. And these literally dissolve in the mouth and immediately go into the bloodstream. And back to work. Actually could have gotten back into the financial field. And there's so many people suffering that I wanted to go with my heart passion and really helping people get back on their feet and feel better. And it is something that wellness centers can offer inside of a facility. I have a lot of businesses that work with them, as well as that they could do that just themselves. So love to send you a sample. Maybe kind of jumping the gun there, but I had massive autoimmune issues. I know Camille was commenting on my hair. My hair was falling out by the fistfuls, and our beauty product is a Tiffany blue as well. And this literally now, my hair's not falling out. The thickness in the body is back, and the sheen. I was floored, but it actually helps with the skin, and all these little uglies are all disappearing. It's like a magic trick show. I love it.
Well, that is great. And so, Linda, when we open up the chats, by all means, put your contact info in there as well. And we will send out her link in our follow-up email to everybody who is registered. Okay, so thank you, Linda.